Mike Mignola unleashed Hellboy upon the world in 1993. This was a time when the comic book industry was dominated by superheroes in capes and tights, characters who were often paragons of virtue or, at the very least, had a clear moral compass. But Mignola had a different vision. He wanted to create a character who was complex, layered, and unlike anything readers had seen before. This was no ordinary comic book hero. Hellboy was different. He wasn't your typical superhero with a chiseled jawline and a perfect smile. Instead, he was a red-skinned demon with a stone hand, a character who looked more like a villain than a hero. But that was the beauty of Mignola's creation. He was a demon summoned from hell. But he defied expectations. Hellboy was brought into our world through a dark ritual intended to be a harbinger of doom. Yet he chose a different path. Raised by Professor Brutenholm, a kind and wise man, Hellboy grew up with a sense of right and wrong. He became a paranormal investigator, using his unique abilities to protect humanity from supernatural threats. He fought for humanity, not against it. Despite his demonic origins, Hellboy's heart was in the right place. He battled monsters, ghosts, and otherworldly beings, always putting himself in harm's way to save others. His actions spoke louder than his appearance, proving that true heroism comes from within. Mignola's art style was unique too. His heavy use of black ink and bold lines gave Hellboy a distinctive look. The artwork was both simple and intricate, with each panel meticulously crafted to convey a sense of depth and emotion. It was dark and shadowy, with stark contrasts. Mignola's use of light and shadow created a moody, atmospheric world that perfectly suited Hellboy's story. The high contrast visuals added a sense of drama and tension, drawing readers into the dark and mysterious world Hellboy inhabited. This perfectly captured the mood of Hellboy's world. The settings were often gloomy and foreboding, filled with ancient ruins, haunted forests, and eerie landscapes. These environments were not just backdrops, but integral parts of the story, enhancing the sense of danger and adventure. Mignola drew inspiration from pulp magazines and folklore. He was fascinated by old tales of monsters, myths, and legends. This love for the macabre and the mythical was evident in every page of Hellboy. The stories were rich with references to ancient myths and folklore, giving the series a timeless quality. He wove these elements together seamlessly. Mignola's storytelling was a masterful blend of the old and the new, combining traditional folklore with modern comic book sensibilities. This fusion created a unique narrative style that was both familiar and fresh, appealing to a wide range of readers. This created a rich tapestry of mythology and adventure. Hellboy's adventures took him to far-off lands and ancient civilizations, where he encountered mythical creatures and uncovered long-lost secrets. Each story was a journey into the unknown, filled with twists and turns that kept readers on the edge of their seats. Hellboy's world was populated by strange creatures and ancient evils. From vampires and werewolves to eldritch horrors and demonic entities, the series was a veritable bestiary of the supernatural. These creatures were not just adversaries, but also reflections of Hellboy's own inner demons. It was a world where magic was real and danger lurked around every corner. The supernatural was an ever-present force in Hellboy's world, shaping his destiny and challenging his resolve. This constant threat added a layer of tension and excitement to the stories, making each adventure a high-stakes battle for survival. Hellboy quickly gained a cult following. Fans were drawn to the character's unique blend of strength and vulnerability, as well as the rich, immersive world Mignola had created. Conventions and fan gatherings became places where enthusiasts could share their love for Hellboy and discuss the latest issues and story arcs. Readers were drawn to his dry wit and his unconventional heroism. Hellboy's sense of humor was a key part of his appeal. His witty one-liners and sardonic remarks provided a counterpoint to the dark and often grim situations he found himself in. This balance of light and dark made the character relatable and endearing. He was a demon who rejected his destiny. Hellboy's struggle against his own nature was a central theme of the series. He was destined to bring about the apocalypse, but he chose to fight against this fate. This act of defiance resonated with readers who saw in Hellboy a symbol of free will and self-determination. He chose to fight for good, even though it meant turning against his own kind. This resonated with audiences. Hellboy's journey was one of redemption and self-discovery, a quest to define his own identity in a world that saw him as a monster. His choice to stand against evil, even when it came from within, made him a true hero in the eyes of his fans. It spoke to the struggle within us all. Hellboy's story was a reflection of the human condition, a tale of inner conflict and the search for meaning. His battles were not just against external foes, but also against his own fears and doubts. This universal theme of inner struggle made Hellboy a character that readers could deeply connect with, ensuring his place as a beloved icon in the world of comics. Hellboy's story began in the midst of World War II. The world was engulfed in chaos, with nations clashing in a brutal conflict that seemed to have no end in sight. Amidst the bloodshed and destruction, a desperate search for an edge led to some of the darkest chapters in human history. The Nazis, desperate for a way to win the war, turned to the occult. They believed that ancient, dark powers could be harnessed to turn the tide in their favor. Their obsession with the supernatural led them to explore forbidden rituals and arcane knowledge, hoping to summon forces beyond human comprehension. They sought to summon a powerful demon. This demon, they believed, would grant them the ultimate weapon, a being of immense power that could crush their enemies and ensure their dominance. The ritual was elaborate, involving intricate symbols, ancient incantations, and a deep understanding of dark magic. This demon would grant them victory. The Nazis envisioned a monstrous entity, a harbinger of destruction that would lay waste to the Allied forces and secure their place as rulers of the world. Their ambition knew no bounds, and they were willing to risk everything for this dark promise. The ritual was a success in a way. The air crackled with energy as the portal began to open, a gateway to another realm. The Nazis watched in awe and anticipation, believing that their moment of triumph was at hand. The dark energy swirled and the portal glowed with an otherworldly light. They opened a portal to hell. The very fabric of reality seemed to tear as the gateway to the infernal realms was breached. Flames and shadows danced around the edges of the portal, and the air was thick with the scent of brimstone. The Nazis held their breath, waiting for their demonic champion to emerge. But what emerged was not what they expected. Instead of a towering, fearsome demon, a small red creature stepped through the portal. The contrast between their expectations and the reality was stark, leaving them in stunned silence. This was not the monstrous warrior they had envisioned. Instead of a terrifying behemoth, a small red creature emerged. This was Hellboy. With his tiny horns, a tail and a giant stone hand, he was a curious sight. The Nazis were taken aback, their grand plans seemingly reduced to a bizarre twist of fate. This small being held an unexpected destiny. He had horns, a tail, and a giant stone hand. The Nazis were shocked. Their ritual had not gone as planned, and they were left with more questions than answers. What was this creature? What power did it hold? Their confusion was palpable as they tried to make sense of the situation. They had no idea what to make of him. The small demon stood before them, an enigma wrapped in a mystery. The Nazis' confidence wavered as they realized that their understanding of the occult was far from complete. This unexpected turn of events left them scrambling for a new plan. Before they could react, Allied forces arrived. The sound of gunfire and the roar of engines signaled the arrival of the Allies, who had been tracking the Nazis' activities. The ritual site was soon overrun by soldiers determined to put an end to the Nazis' dark experiments. They captured the baby demon and took him back to their base. The Allies, too, were puzzled by the small creature, but they recognized the potential significance of his appearance. They secured Hellboy, unsure of what he was, but determined to keep him out of Nazi hands. The Nazis' plan had backfired spectacularly. Their hopes of summoning a powerful ally had been dashed, and they were left with nothing but frustration and failure. The ritual had not only failed to deliver the expected results, but had also attracted the attention of their enemies. They had unwittingly unleashed a force for good upon the world. Hellboy, though small and unassuming, carried within him the potential for great heroism. The Nazis' dark intentions had inadvertently set the stage for a new kind of hero, one who would stand against the very forces of evil they had sought to control. Hellboy was destined to fight against the very darkness that had spawned him. His origins were steeped in the occult, but his path would lead him to become a defender of humanity. He would grow to battle the forces of darkness, using his unique abilities to protect the world from supernatural threats. His arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter in the fight against evil. Hellboy's presence signaled hope in a time of despair, a beacon of light in the midst of darkness. His journey was just beginning, and the world would soon come to know him as a true hero, born from the depths of hell but destined for greatness. Professor Trevor Brutenholm, a paranormal investigator, took young Hellboy under his wing. He saw the good in the demon child. He raised him with kindness and compassion. He taught him about the world and about humanity. Brutenholm became a father figure to Hellboy. He provided the stability and love that the young demon craved. Hellboy grew up at the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, or BPRD. This was a secret organization dedicated to protecting the world from supernatural threats. It was here that Hellboy found his calling. He trained alongside other agents. He honed his skills and learned to control his demonic powers. The BPRD became Hellboy's family. He formed strong bonds with his fellow agents. They fought side by side against all manner of creatures and monsters. Hellboy's loyalty to his comrades was unwavering. He would risk his life for them without hesitation. Hellboy's most striking feature was his right hand. This hand was not just any ordinary hand, it was a massive stone appendage that stood out starkly against his otherwise human-like form. The sheer size and texture of this hand made it an object of both awe and fear. It was made of stone and was much larger than a normal hand. The contrast between his stone hand and his regular hand was striking, almost as if it belonged to a different being altogether. This hand was not just a physical anomaly, but a symbol of something much greater. This was the right hand of doom. The hand was covered in ancient carvings, each symbol telling a story of its own. When it glowed with power, it was a sight to behold, a reminder of the ancient forces that lay dormant within it. It was an ancient artifact of immense power. The energy that emanated from it was palpable, a testament to its legendary status. This hand was not just a weapon, but a key to unlocking untold mysteries and powers. Legend had it that it was the hand of Anung Unrama. This demon was not just any demon, but one of the most powerful beings in existence, destined to bring about the end of the world. This was a powerful demon destined to bring about the apocalypse. The very mention of Anung Unrama sent shivers down the spines of those who knew of the prophecy. This demon's hand, now Hellboy's, was a constant reminder of the impending doom. The right hand of doom gave Hellboy incredible strength. With this hand, he could perform feats of strength that were beyond the capabilities of any human. It was a tool of destruction, capable of smashing through walls and crushing stone with ease. He could crush stone and metal with ease. The power in his hand was unmatched, making him a formidable force in any battle. This strength was both a blessing and a curse, as it set him apart from everyone else. It also had other, more mysterious powers. The hand was not just about brute strength, it held within it secrets that even Hellboy himself did not fully understand. The mystical energy that surrounded it hinted at powers that were beyond comprehension. It could unlock ancient seals and unleash unimaginable energies. The hand was a key to ancient locks, capable of releasing energies that had been sealed away for millennia. This ability made it a coveted artifact, sought after by those who wished to harness its power. However, the hand was also a curse. It was a constant reminder of Hellboy's demonic heritage, a heritage that he could never escape. The dark aura that surrounded the hand was a symbol of the internal struggle that he faced every day. It was a constant reminder of Hellboy's demonic heritage. This heritage was a burden that he carried with him, a reminder of the prophecy that foretold his role in the apocalypse. It was a part of him that he could never fully accept or reject. The prophecy surrounding the right hand of doom weighed heavily on Hellboy. The knowledge that he was destined to bring about the end of the world was a heavy burden to bear. It was a prophecy that he fought against every day, trying to carve out his own destiny. He was torn between his human upbringing and his demonic destiny. Raised by humans, Hellboy had a strong sense of right and wrong, but his demonic nature constantly pulled him towards a darker path. This duality was a source of constant inner conflict. He feared becoming the monster that everyone expected him to be. The fear of succumbing to his demonic nature was always at the back of his mind. He struggled with the idea that he might one day fulfill the prophecy and become the harbinger of the apocalypse. This internal conflict was central to his character. It was what made Hellboy who he was, a hero constantly battling his own demons. This struggle defined his actions and his choices, making him a complex and compelling character. It fueled his desire to do good and to defy his fate. Despite the prophecy, Hellboy was determined to forge his own path. His desire to do good and to protect the world from dark forces was a testament to his strength of character. He was a hero, not because of his powers, but because of his unwavering determination to defy his fate and do what was right.